It's your boy Dre Dunn, and I'm in the shed again, the junk house, junk shed, whatever you want to call it. And I'm here to talk about the WWE Network and pretty much what I feel is wrong with it and what I feel can make it better. First of all, if you don't know what the WWE Network is, the WWE Network is basically a streaming site with pretty much the history of wrestling on it. Pretty much all the WWE pay-per-views, all the WCW pay-per-views, ECW. You got some world-class championship wrestling, which was in Dallas in the 80s. You have AWA, which was in Minnesota, owned by Vern Gagne in the 80s and 70s and 60s. You got a lot of different stuff on there. Documentaries about everything, a couple of documentaries. But it's one thing about the WWE Network. It's very limited with content. And one of the biggest problems, what I said, they were trying to reach their I think their subscriptions of like 700. I think they should have. I think it shouldn't have been initially just America that they put the WWE Network on. I think they should have initially put it in America, Canada, and England. Whatever I know, I'm not that ignorant. I know it's England or Great Britain, one of them. They should have put it in England. I mean, I know I sound stupid, but it should have been in America, Canada, and England. That's where they should have put them at. Because in the UK period, wrestling is very big. They really love wrestling down there. As well as Canada, as you know, with the history of Bret Hart, Stu Hart, and Stampede Wrestling. You know they love it. One of my pet peeves is that, and this, I don't think anyone has said this yet on their videos about the WWE Network. They don't have a category for matches. When I watch a match, I don't want to have to skip through a pay-per-view. I know you click in the search bar and you go to the match and it'll take you to it. But what if your match isn't the main event? You have to click out of that. It's kind of inconvenient. I'd rather have them set. I think the WWE knows certain matches that are great, like the Shawn and Razor ladder match, Ric Flair and Steamboat. They know certain matches that people want to see. I think people don't really want to sit through an entire pay-per-view. I think people want to watch matches, because I find myself on YouTube. I'm looking for matches on YouTube. Before the network even came, I was looking for matches. Now I rather look on YouTube still. Even I don't have the WWE Network now. I let my subscription run out. I didn't really feel the need to get it. I might try to get it back. I don't know. It's kind of inconvenient, because you don't want to look at a pay-per-view. You want to look at a match. You want to look at certain matches, like WrestleMania 10. You don't want to look at that whole show. You want to look at Bret and Owen, and you want to look at Shawn and Razor. You don't want to look at the whole show. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. I mean, another thing they could do is the pay-per-views. I mean, on their streaming site. On the streaming part of the site is basically, I didn't really even explain at the beginning of the video what it is. A streaming site. They stream like a channel, like would be a television channel of different shows, different everything on WWE Network. And then they have the in-demand stuff where you go to pick things. I mean, you have to have Nitros and Raws on there. But another thing you have to have is matches. People would like to see Confidential on there. You could have like Confidential. I love that show because it was an inside look. I mean, they show it on commercials, but I think it should be on the in-demand. Another thing, they show too many recent pay-per-views over and over and over and over and over and over again on the network. I've like, what was that? What pay-per-view was that? on the free. I looked on the free when they did the free thing, and they showed Money in the Bank fucking over and over and over again. That mediocre ass pay per view just over and over and over again. Like wow, like dude, I don't really want to look at this shit like that, you know. And another pay per view I love, one of my favorite WWE pay per views of all time, Money in the Bank 2011. They show that shit. Woo! They show that shit so much. I love that pay per view though, especially the CM Punk John Cena match. It was amazing. But it's like they're getting like the stream site, the stream part of the site is getting kind of repetitive. Like, which, and this is a tip for when they have free viewings again for people, don't cut it off. Just keep it on there, and they can't cut it off because I kept it on there. At least I stayed up really late that night. I kept it up at least 5 hours over when it went off. And they showed the Raw before WrestleMania 11, and I'm like, this is the stuff people want to see. The vintage stuff, the rare stuff. This is the stuff people want to see. I think they should you have to put more Raws and Nitros on here. That's what people want to see. They have ECW Hardcore TV. Like, why don't you have Nitros and Raws? I mean, wow. But that's just kind of my little rant, man. It's a lot more stuff they need to improve on, but you know, I haven't had the WWE Network about a couple of weeks, so I don't know what they have at this moment, so I really can't comment on too much. But if they could just have matches by themselves, if they had a category where it just said matches, classic matches or something like that, that would be much more convenient. If they had a way that you could watch certain matches up from a show by themselves without having to watch the entire match, if it had like a cutoff point on the pay-per-view, it just stopped when you went in the search bar and you just typed in a match and it was on a pay-per-view. Like, for instance, I typed in Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk from Over the Limit 2011, and I just wanted to see that match, and I typed it in, and the match was going, and it was playing, and then when the match finally ended, it had like a pop-up or whatever saying the match is ended, do you want to continue? That would be much more convenient. If you're clicking in a match, you more than likely want to see that match. You don't want to see the show. Some people might, but if you want to see that show, you can say click continue. But I think something like that they could have. I mean, I know they're kind of hinting at buying the TNA library. I think people are kind of giving up on TNA a little too. Well, they should have been gave up on it fucking 2011. But I think people are giving up on them going out of business a little too early. I think they might get picked up by a smaller network or something. I think they're still going to eventually go out of business. But I think they could last a little longer if another network picked them up, you know. But WWE, I didn't know WWE was struggling that bad. They don't even want to pay for the library with TNA. And I think they say the estimate for the library is like $500,000. And I'm like, what? WWE can't afford $500,000? They're in trouble. Like, wow. But till next time, man. I ain't finna ramble on like I always do. Dre the Don. Peace.